Today we're going to talk about all the gear that I use to shoot sports. So starting off, let's talk about the two camera bodies that I use. So I'm a Nikon shooter. I started out on Canon and I started a job that kind of pushed me towards the Nikon areas. So that's where we're at. I shoot a Nikon Z8 for my second body. And then for my main camera, I will shoot on the Nikon Z9. And I love this camera, but she is so heavy, especially when you get one of these guys on, just so heavy. So that's why I invested in this one, kind of as a travel camera, but also as a second body. Now let's talk lenses. So this is my main lens that I use all the time. This is a 70-200 2.8. It's the mirrorless version. It's perfect, everything you could ever want. Kind of what everyone in sports would use. And then on my second body, which I just started doing, is a 14-24. It's nice and wide that I can get players coming up to the photo hole, and then I can get really wide angles, angled shots. So I really have been loving this. As for other sports, this is what I use for baseball or football or even soccer. This is a 300. She's pretty big, and just pretty heavy. Ideally, I would like to have something a little larger in focal length, but this is kind of what's working for me right now. And I do shoot some hockey with this on a monopod up in the crowd, shooting kind of down at the ice, and those turn out really well. And last but not least, we're going to talk about my last two lenses. So this is a 10.5. I got this before I got my 14-24, and it kind of does everything that I needed it to. It is a manual, so I had to manually focus anytime I was using it on either of these bodies. And then secondly, this is a 24-70. Like I said before, I got my 14-24. This is kind of what I was using all the time. It got the job done. And then for camera straps, I have a harness that I've been using that I really enjoy. But before that, I use these Peak Design straps. So I have a black one, and then I also have this green one. And then I also, it's not on here, but I have a hand strap that I use almost every single time I shoot. It's the best thing ever. But I love Peak Design straps. And then lastly, this is my really cheap flash from Amazon. It really gets the job done. There's no issues. It's really user friendly. So yeah, those are my things.